Welcome once again to today's program. This is Dibia Nwangu Chendu. Ndewo ndị be anyị nke onye chiri nya zere. Asị m ka tata makwara unu mma. Ihe ọbụla bụ ihe ọma unu na-etinye aka na ya sị nke ọ na-aga siriri werere. Na egwu ada atụ afọ wee buru ụzọ. Na nkiri ka a na-ekiri ododo ma na-ejiri ododo enyi ozu. Na ife ọma ga-akpọkwa n'anya iru na eke orie afọ nkwọ ise Igbo bụ Igbo mma no. You are highly welcome. Please join us. Invite your friends and family, relations, so that they can listen to my expository teachings on Igbo culture and tradition. Today, we will discuss about tortoise. The tortoise as a totem and spiritual animal. We all know about the tortoise. We know tortoise as very cunning, very smart, very wise, yet it is slow-paced. You know, some Agu have tortoise as an animal totem. When you see the tortoise always in your dream, it signifies that you have call, a divine call to serve. Are you listening? So let me go into this very topic today so you can understand me very well. Tortoise comes from the reptile family Tetudienia. They have hard shells which protects them from predators and other threats. Tortoise retract their neck and head directly backwards into the shell to protect themselves. Likewise, this is how humans are asked to go within themselves and search their spiritual selves when they are having problem. You can say it is a form of spiritual self-examination, or you can call it meditation. The tortoise, they vary in sizes and come in different species, such as the Galapagos giant tortoise that grows 1.2 meters, that is 3.9 feet in length, whereas others like the speckled Cape tortoise have shells that measure only 6.8 centimeters, that is 2.7 inches long. We have several lineages of tortoise which evolves with large body sizes in excess of 100 kilograms, including the Galapagos giant tortoise and the Aldabra giant tortoise. Tortoise live long as land animals in the world. Tortoises are generally placid. They are very slow in movement. They are herbivores because they feed on grasses, weeds, leafy greens, flowers, some fruits, and some species eat worms or insects. Tortoises are ancient and live very long almost anywhere. A group of tortoise is called a creep, as they have an exoskeleton and an endoskeleton. They cannot swim. Tortoise cannot swim, but they can hold their breath for a long time. It is only turtles that can swim. I hope you should know today that a turtle is different from a tortoise. A turtle is not a tortoise. There are visible differences that exist between the two. All right? Tortoises reach maturity with age, not by size. I remember this song. Mbagaba, ajambene, mbagaba, ajambene, gaga, ajambene, buru, buru, ajambene, mbagaba, ajambene, mbagaba, jam, gaga, gaga, ajambene, mbagaga. What this song simply means is the tortoise is on a journey, and the response will be Ajambene, Ajambene. This is a folk song that we usually sing those days under the moonlight when we are listening to stories from our parents. I recall my grandma taught me this song, and also in school. Then we used to sing it during extracurricular activities, during physical education. Yes, I remember. We know the tortoise as Mbe in our language, in Igbo language, Mbe, M-B-E. There is no folk tale or folk story about tortoise not outwitting his or her opponent. So many books, literature books, story books of children. Tortoise is a prominent animal that features in such storybooks. I am so happy whenever I pick up a storybook, I see the tortoise drawn on the storybook. It makes me to reminisce. All those stories about tortoise. If you reflect on it, it shows that the tortoise is wise. Tortoises, they have wisdom. Now, spiritually, they are spiritual totems. They are used, in ordinary Igbo spirituality a lot. Eji nwayọ na-alepụta ka m bịakwa. I recall the story of the tortoise and the dog. How the tortoise outwitted the dog, because they want to seek for answers. And they say the fastest to get to the gate will now determine why human beings should die and not live long. That story is so wonderful. It's so thrilling to me. I will encourage parents to buy storybooks about tortoise. It will sharpen their psychomotor, all right? It will make them think. It will make them to strive to be as wise as the tortoise. Maybe they might end up being corny, but you never can tell. I really, really liked today's discussion about the tortoise as a totem and spiritual animal. We all have spiritual animals. They represent us in the spirit. Everybody, onye ọbụla, whether you are Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba, no matter your tribe and race, no matter the continent where you come from, we have spiritual animal symbols. Everybody have. All right? You can research about this. You don't have to believe me, all right? Well, let's continue with our teaching for today. Now, I want to talk about the spiritual symbolism of tortoise. The tortoise is a symbol of order. It is very slow, steady. The tortoise is patient, stable, wise. It has wisdom. Once you see a tortoise, you become aware that you should have endurance, you should endure. You will witness peace, longevity, security, good luck, and prosperity. You see, these are virtues humans find hard to keep worldwide. How many of us today think things through before we take decisions? There are people who take decisions on the spot, and it can affect their life either positively or negatively. How many of us give good advice to people? How many of us tap into the wisdom that Chineke has bestowed on us? How many of us endure? Because most people, they are short-tempered. They blame it on the economic situation of the country. They blame it on all kinds of ills. They blame it on unemployment. They blame it on bad leadership, bad governance, How many of us strive to bring peace to other people's lives? How many? What we have today is people who make trouble because they have money or they have connection in the police. They go about harassing other people. They cannot tolerate. So, I want to ask, how many of us always think things through or arrange things properly before we carry it out? Let me take, for example, women. Today's women, they are always impatient. They are always unstable, unwise. They lack wisdom. They do not endure. Why can't you emulate from Mr. Tortoise? You know, those days when we are growing up, we heard about Mr. Tortoise and Mrs. Tortoise. Mbe na nwunye mbe. And the name of nwunye mbe is Anim. This topic always makes me to relive my childhood, So I asked a question earlier about our women. How many of you bring peace and order to a man's life, to a man's family, to the office where you work, amongst your friends, amongst your colleagues? How many times? Kena udo gibumwai. I want you to emulate from tortoise today, because spiritual symbolism of tortoise is being slow, steady, patient, being stable, arrange things in order, being wise, having wisdom, endurance, peace, longevity. How many of you bring good luck and prosperity into the lives of people you interact with? A lot of people, when you come in contact with them, their lives are noisy. Their lives are unstable. They have no peace. Of course, there is no peace for the wicked. Because if you give out goodness, if you are kind to people, you receive the same back into your life. That is what I believe. So we should think about our own character and behavior while I'm talking about spiritual symbolism of tortoise. Again, tortoise is a mystical animal because of its inherent wisdom. Over the century, over the years, whenever you see the symbol of tortoise on a person, it signifies something. That this person is wise, filled with wisdom. And probably when you go close to the person and interact with the person, you will discover that whatever problem you might have, as the person listens to you and the person responds, he will give you an advice filled with wisdom, ancient wisdom. So you can liken that person to be as wise as a tortoise. Another symbolism of tortoise is that it represents guidance from the universe. You see the way it takes time to to crawl. It's very stable, very slow. You see it, that it represents guidance from the universe. Just looking at the shell, you can see the pattern on it. If you follow that pattern and arrange your life and your activities, I bet you that is receiving guidance from the universe. Another symbolism of tortoise is that it signifies energy to move on from the past with an innate driving force to make your dream a reality. As the tortoise minds its business, it crawls on its own. No matter how slow it is, it always have that energy to move on. So likewise, it's like talking to people. If you are recovering from a bad experience, you have to sit up and move on. Find something better to engage your life with. Maybe move on to a better relationship if you have already healed from the old relationship. You don't have to keep crying over spilled milk. You don't have to continue going back to somebody that has rejected you. You continue fighting. You continue quarreling, keeping enmity. You want to destroy the person for rejecting you. Be like the tortoise today and move on. Find that energy within. Let it be your driving force so that it can make your dream a reality. You will recover from that relationship and find a better one, and you'll be happy that you moved on. The nature of the tortoise simply tells one to mind their life and business. As the tortoise is in that shell, inside that shell, it only brings out its head when it wants to. Maybe when it wants to check the surrounding. Sometimes it will withdraw and hide within itself when it senses danger. Why can't you be like the tortoise and mind your life and your business? That does not mean that when you see that something is going wrong, you say you are minding your life and your business. So when you see things happening, going wrong, and you don't talk, you are enabling it, or you are an enabler. So that one is different. But minding your life and your business is not a bad thing to do. It means you are focused. You want to achieve something. You have a vision. You have a mission. So therefore, you need areas around you to be, calm, for you to be able to focus, mind your life, mind your business, and excel in it. All right? The tortoise also represents fertility, spirituality, innocence, wisdom, safety, protection, and perseverance. No matter how long the journey is, the tortoise will always trudge on. No matter how the journey is difficult for you as a human, emulate the tortoise. Be like a tortoise, forge on. Persevere. Do not give up. Because one day, it go better, it go better, it go better, it go better for you. You get money, you get pikin. Oh, one day, it go better. Oh, the tortoise is really inspiring me. So you see, it represents fertility and spirituality. Always, when you look around you, you see a spiritual person, they normally have this, should I call it, pendant of the tortoise. Some, they use it as a representation of their agum. Agum mili. Tortoise is a symbol, is a totem. All right? For people with agum mili. There are some that they use alligator or crocodile, some fish, some cowrie, some seashell. So it depends. The tortoise itself is very fertile once it gives birth. All right? And there are some parts of it, some that eat tortoise as a meat. says that it nourishes the body. I think this is where it makes one to be fertile. However, on the part of spirituality, you will find out that most diviners, dibia mgbafa, they use the tortoise shell, as a medium to communicate during spiritual consultation, during Alpha consultation. I don't want to go deep, but most of you that have gone to a dibia's place, you will see it, that tortoise shell. That means something that is hidden is about to be revealed. Once the diviner will strike it, boom, 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 and call on their powers to, come and shed light to hidden things about the person's life. This is how it is being used spiritually. The tortoise shell is believed to bring steady and correct messages as an animal totem and a medium for Alpha divination. This has been used for centuries. Obri ife tata. Mbe nwaniga. Obri ife tata. Azụ okpokolo mgbe ị ga-afịa na eji agba afa. Eji akpọku mmụọ ebeku mmụọ bịa ka ọ bịa gbaa ama. N'afa a na-aya. Nwere ike ọ bụla afọ gịlị ma ọ gbọdọga. Ma ọ bụ afọ ụkpaka. You understand? Once the spirit hears the sound, they converge immediately. It's like them being summoned. So once dibia mgbafa biro yaba afọ ugili ya, ife ya ana-agba ama, ana-ekpughe ife ọbụla zoro ezo gbasalụ onye na-ajụ ese maka ndụ ya. Alright? The tortoise is the symbol of the universe, just like a dome of the sky represented by the tortoise shell. Its body represents the earth. We are talking about the shell. The shell is shaped like a dome of the universe, like a dome of the sky. The shell protects the tortoise itself. And also the shell represents the earth, probably the form or the shape of the earth. There is no part of the tortoise that is not useful, that is not symbolic, that is not totemic, that is not spiritual. The tortoise spirit teaches the spiritually inclined how to move on from people who hurt them. No matter what you do to the tortoise, it will continue trudging on, crawling, going to its destination. If you like, go and hit it and turn it to another direction. It will just trudge on. It might rotate and start heading back to where it was heading to before you interrupted its journey. So that is the spirit that the tortoise have, that is teaching you that is spiritually inclined to move on from people who hurt you, no matter what they do to bring you down, no matter what they say against you, no matter how they try to tarnish your name and image, no matter how they try to use you. Once you find out, what do? You move on. Don't continue to wallow back in the days, you start reminiscing to your own detriment, that it will hurt you, that you won't even like what you reliving the past memories. You won't like it. You might start having regret again. You might kickstart your anger all over. I will want to hurt someone. Be like the tortoise. Move on. Forget them. Forget those people that hurt you. There is a song that came to me now, as in, I think I remember it. Never mind them. Ọnụ kwuru njọ ga-ekwu mma. Anyala ha ntị na ha ga-ekwu okwu kwugide onwe ha. Never mind them. ọnụ kwuru njọ ga-ekwu mma, anya na ha ntị ha ga-ekwu okwu kwugide onwe ha, ajiri gị kụwa asịrị, never you mind them o. Akpọba gị onye iberibe, never you mind them o. Ejiwe gị kụwa asịrị, never you mind them ewo, never you mind them o, never you mind them. You see? That is what the spirit of the tortoise teaches us, the spiritually inclined. Move on. Never mind those people who hurt you. Never mind their evil intention. Never mind the hole or the pit they dig for you to fall in. As you didn't fall inside that hole, please move on. Don't keep reliving the past. Don't keep trying to find out what you did wrong, what warranted them to treat you so shabbily, Without that experience, you wouldn't know the real character of the person. You wouldn't know what they think of you. You wouldn't discover your inner strength like that of the tortoise. You wouldn't know you can move on without them. That is why I sang this song. It reminded me of this song, and you sang it to inspire you that you are listening to me. Let go and move on. Stop thinking about that past relationship. Stop thinking about that denial. Stop thinking about that disappointment. Stop thinking about that person that sold you out. Move on. Better days are ahead. Nke dị n'iru ka. That is why I love this name, Nkenjika. At that moment in time, the qualities you have, the resources that are available to you, it is okay for you. Hold on to it and move on, regardless of those ones that hurt you. Because what goes round comes round. Onye ọbụla na-eme mmadụ ajọ ife, ajọ ife ka the universe ga-eji wee kwụ ya ụgwọ. Ị na-emelu mmadụ mma, mma amaalụ gị, mma abịalụ gị. That is it. If you are good, you receive goodness. If you are bad, you receive it in double dose. So our people should bear in mind that there are things you do that you have to emulate the tortoise. So it wouldn't appear as if you are not learning any lesson from that animal, no matter how slow it is. You have learned something today. All right? Another symbolism is if you dream about seeing tortoise, it can mean agu. I said it initially. When you dream and see the tortoise, spiritually, it means you have agu. Then also, it signifies happiness and endless success in one's life. Then for a woman or for a man, it can mean pregnancy. Once you see tortoise in the dream, there are people who dream and they see the tortoise, they don't know the meaning. Some who are observant, they will experience it that whenever they see tortoise in the dream, usually the doctor confirms that they are pregnant. So for some women, once they see the tortoise, they know they are pregnant. That is how it happens. Some they will see fish. Some they will see themselves licking pear. I think avocado pear. Some will see themselves picking snail, ejuna. Eju. Some call it eju. Some call it ejuna. So it has a spiritual meaning and symbolism. No matter how old the tortoise is, it lives long, longevity. So whenever you see tortoise all the time, know that you have agu, or it can simply mean that you will live long, or it can be the symbolism showing you that you are a stable person, or you are wise and filled with ancient wisdom. It also shows that endless success is coming your way. is coming in your life. Then sometimes it can be pregnancy. If you as a man dream of always seeing tortoise, it can mean success in your life, happiness is coming. So once you continue seeing this and it's repetitive, please go for spiritual consultation. Jee gbaa afa